Hello, my name is Inga Jordan. I am a practical nursing student at Bates Technical College, and today I'll be performing a sterile dressing change and wound assessment. So I've already reviewed the chart, know what I need to know about the patient, and I've reviewed the facility's protocol, and I've gathered my materials. So, hello, my name is Inga Jordan. I am your practical nursing student today, and I'm going to be performing a sterile dressing change with wound assessment. So give me just a moment. I'm going to wash my hands. Well, first of all, I just want to make sure that you're comfortable. You're at an appropriate height for me for good body mechanics, but I also want to obtain privacy. So I'm simulating privacy so that we can continue with that. Okay, can you tell me please your name and your date of birth? Okay, David Jones. Okay, and I just want to verify that with, if you don't mind, with your name tag on your arm. Okay, thank you. So the first thing I want to do is prep the red bag. To make sure I didn't put my gloves on yet, but I want to prep the red bag and make sure that everything's in place. Okay, so I'm just going to place this bag here for convenience. It's going to be okay. And then I'm going to start over with the gloves. I have the glove. I'm going to wash my hands because I feel like I missed a step, so I'm just going to be okay. So. Okay, Mr. Jones, as we discussed, I do need to look at your wound. So I'm going to pull back the covers, make sure that he's still properly draped, and remove the wound dressing. So, okay. Dispose of it in the bag. And then what I want to do is make sure that I do a proper assessment, making sure that I look at the drainage, the wound perimeters, if there's odor. Do you have any pain with this wound at all? And all those things, make good notation of the wound so that I can document that later. And the next step would be to ask him if there's any allergies. Apparently you have no allergies with the tape. I know they've noted that before. But I do need to, at this point, measure the wound bed. So I'm going to remove this from the packet, and I'm simulating that I have a measuring piece that I'll use to measure the depth of the wound. Simulating it, and I've gathered the amount, the depth. Using the same one, I'm going to measure the length, measure it, document that in my head, and I'm going to also measure the width. So once I have those measurements, I will dispose of that. And next what I'll do is clean the wound and prepare it for the sterile wound dressing. Okay. I can also check for tunneling. I did not do that at the moment, but I'm going to say that in a normal situation, I would check in a clockwise manner whether or not he has tunneling in the wound and document that as well. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is remove the glove, wash my hands again. Okay, because I want to cleanse the wound. So I'm using clean gloves. Oh. I'm simulating opening a brand new packet, and I have 3 swabs here. I'm going to use 1 swab at a time. I'm first going to do the upper edge, clean the wound, dispose. Going to do below, dispose of it, and then I'm going to clean the interior of the wound. Make sure that it's wiped clean for the next step. Okay. And I'll dispose of everything. Now I'll move towards applying the sterile dressing. Okay, I've completed inspecting the wound, and I'm going to, I've already prepared my environment. I have 4 sterile strips to use to apply the wound dressing. I have saline that will be opened to use to pour into a sterile field once I start. So the first thing that I want to do, wash my hands, and I'm going to put on new gloves to begin the sterile technique. So I'm going to pull this back, prepare that. I'm going to remove these gloves because I have to don the sterile gloves. So that's what I missed. So to open my gloves, I will open them and stand up, okay. Yeah. So I'm going to reach in with the tip of my fingers and pull out the first glove, prepare it without touching, and kind of wiggle my hand in. Then using the other glove, I was going to get my hand underneath the cuff. Put the glove on. Taking a little time. And at this point, I can pull it up and over my sleeve. So I'm still staying above the sterile field, removing this. Okay, now that I have sterile gloves on, I can reach inside of this open sterile field, and I want to bring out my drape, just touching the edges. Oops. Okay, so I do have the tape underneath that, but it's underneath so. And then I'm going to reach in and bring my remaining materials. I'm going to ask my assistant to please consider pouring sterile, lipping it and pouring it into the sterile field, the sterile saline. Just going to lip it and then pour in the remaining amount. Okay, so now that that's prepared, and I've already cleaned the wound, okay, so what I'm going to do is use the forceps, and I'm going to place the gauze inside of the water, just to prepare it for it. And then I will, okay, I'm going to now pack the wound. I'm using my right hand to pass it over to my left, and I'll pack here. Since I didn't touch the field with this hand, I'm going to use my right hand, pass it over to my left again, complete this portion. Okay, and at this point, I'm reaching into the field to cover it with the ABD pad. I can touch the wound now. And then on all 4 corners, I will safely secure the wound dressing. I think okay, so wound is completed. I will make sure, Mr. Jones, that you're okay. Is there any questions or any concerns for me? If he doesn't have any questions or concerns, I'm going to clean my area. And wipe down and disinfect my area, remove my gloves, and wash my hands. What I should have done is dispose of my red bag and everything, then wash my hands, remove my gloves, and then I'll immediately document all the information. Okay, that's it.